Hi guys, welcome to another episode of our podcast. Great to have you here again, and it's a good thing to discuss very important topic to talk about today, and it's something that we all will be interested in. Before I tell us the topic, I have some of my friends here with me. I have Mr. Rex, I have Ada Gold, and I have Mr. Ace here, and we're going to be looking at this topic together. So this is what we're talking about: unveiling the challenges of 21st century marriages. Why do Christian marriages fail? Modern Christian marriages. Why do we have a lot of divorce recently now in this 21st century? Why are we having separations and why are we having problems in our marriages where pastors don't have time anymore? All they do is to settle marital issues, family, friends. All we talk about in social media is one problem in the marriage or another. So we want to look at that today and see how we can discuss about it, prefer solutions, and see where the problem is. When you know what the problem is, you can prefer good solutions to solve them and see how we can help our people out there and see how we can have better marriages and have marriages that are built on God and our Christian culture. So, Mr. Rex, why are Christian marriages having problems? Modern marriages, 21st century marriages, what's the issue?
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to say it's basically because of the inability for us to manage our differences. I understand my partner is like this, my partner is wired in its separate way, but my inability to actually manage how my partner is wired, then it therefore leads to conflicts. I should first of all understand the person I'm getting married to. If I don't take my time to study the person I'm getting married to, getting into the marriage, we start having issues. Meanwhile, I was supposed to have done the assignment before entering into the marriage.
Yeah.
But leaving that assignment undone, getting into the marriage, we start having issues because she doesn't understand me. She doesn't understand how I am wired. She doesn't understand the things I like and how to manage my emotions. And likewise myself, I really do not understand how to manage her emotions. I don't know what to say when she's angry. I don't know how to calm her down when she's understand. That inability to manage that differences. She acts differently from the way I do. And I'm supposed to understand that why does she act like this? There's something behind it. Now, understanding all of those things would help me manage her. So I feel and I believe that the inability for us to manage our differences actually contributes a whole lot to.
So from what you're saying is like we rush into marriages in the 21st century because if I want to understand how to manage differences, I need to know you,
Yeah,
which means we will have to cut a certain number of time,
yeah,
number of months or years, as the case may be. So the problem is what you're saying is we don't manage, we rush into these marriages.
yeah. A lot of us in this 21st century, we get to we want to get married for so many reasons. For some, because they actually want a companion. Because for some, it's peer pressure. Somebody, my friends are getting married. I want to get married. And for the ladies, sometimes they kind of feel like, okay, age is not on my side.
Yeah.
So whoever comes, I should accept the person and just get married. Oh, I want financial security, and this guy has financial security. I think I should just go with him. But you've not considered other things. Can he manage my emotions? He can manage my financial life. He can take care of me. He can get me a car. He can take me on Dubai trip.
Yeah.
But can he manage my emotions? So all of those considerations are really not there. So you
Yeah.
just want to, okay, because he can take care of this, then I should just go into it. So
Well, I will be crying in Dubai than crying in Keke. Okay, I will just put that out there first, right? The thing is, for me, honestly, I would say that we are selfish because I have seen people that have been in relationships for 9, 10 years and get married 2 years later, the marriage don't scatter. So I think it's selfishness, not even the fact that you don't accommodate your partner's excesses or differences and try to find the balance. No, I'm expecting that saying as so I be. I don't like eating rice, but yet you cook rice. But you don't want to. I don't want to understand that maybe rice is the only food you know how to cook.
Yeah.
Let me still, even if I won't eat it all the time, at least let me still try and support you and eat the rice, even if it's not sweet. But my own is I'm not eating rice. I will never eat rice, no matter what you say. So the thing, I for one, I feel like if we can think genuinely about making our partners happy, marriages would last longer. Because when we always say we fell out of love, it's not even because of love per se, because love is a feeling. Love is or that kind of love is a feeling. Love is sacrifice. Being able to say, I want to make sure that this person is happy, even when it doesn't work well for me. But all I can say is, when I see a smile on this person's face, I'm good to go. Even if it's my last money, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But no, we're thinking, and it's to a certain extent, I wouldn't even say it's our fault, because everybody now we're thinking marriage and love is a game. Who first talk I love you, who first show more affection, I might get you down. So I think that if we can genuinely be unselfish and greedy, with ourselves and with the things that we can offer to our partners in relationships, in marriages, a lot of marriages will last longer. A lot of marriages.
So it's a matter of self-centeredness. So
Yes.
we want our own.
You must do for me.
Well, I don't care about what you want,
Mhm.
but satisfy my own side first.
Yes.
And then when you can't satisfy my own side, the little one you even want, I won't give it to you.
It's always like that.
It's a problem. That's really true. And I don't we feel, Mr. Ace, don't we feel like some of these issues that come up is like how do you look at the effect of social media? Because this 21st century, we watch movies, especially we that are young, we watch movies and we see things on social media that gives us a certain level of expectation from our partner. And we tend to maybe forget about the fact that what works for A does not work for B. And then we expect some things, like realistic expectations that come from social media. What do you think about that, Mr. S? Or how do you see this whole scenario about failing marriages? We've seen from Mr. Rex talking about how it's because we rush into things. We want to do it without considering. We look at our immediate need. I need financial security. But I don't care about how I can make my partner, I can meet my partner's needs emotionally, physically, and otherwise. I just want to meet that need that is pressing on me. I forget about other things. And when I go into the marriage, is that a problem for me? We've also seen where Ada Gold talked about self-centeredness, selfishness. You want to satisfy my own before you get anything from me. Okay, but I feel there are other ways. I feel some of these things are factors of what we see.
Okay. First of all, if we have this thought in us that love is not everything, love is not enough, we'll have a better understanding and how to cope with your partner. Now, this is it. In relationship, in marriage, it goes beyond love. If you understand what they call give and take, you will enjoy marriage. What do I mean by that? Okay, you love this thing, you want this thing, you pay for it to get it.
Yeah.
You have a business, you have to do whatever it takes to make that business survive to bring you returns. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is if you want a relationship to work, to be smooth, to be sweet as you want it, you have to invest in it. You have to put in something that will bring you return, which is maybe love, respect, or whatever you're looking out for from your partner. So you must invest. Now, what do you invest? You invest your time, understanding. Like my friend's mom used to tell us then, if you understand the strength of your opponent, you already know your strength. You should be able to calculate the strength difference between both of you. Then you know if you have to fight that fight or not. So you need to understand that part. Have this mind said that you have to invest in it for it to work, not the other person investing for it to work for you to benefit. No, you're also involved in it. So if both of you understand that thing, that part in a relationship and all that, it will work. For a man, let me use a man since I'm a man. If you have this understanding that you have a responsibility, a major responsibility to a role to play in your relationship, and you're able to do your part, you find that automatically your partner will do her part. No one is born a beast. Everyone has a beast in there. Something brings out the beast. So if you're able to have that understanding and work with it, it will work. It will work. It goes beyond your financial responsibility, security, or whatever. Understand. Know when to apply some things and when not to. Know when to put pressure and when not to. Know when to communicate in a certain way and when not to. If you have that understanding, it will work.
Yeah, that's true. I like where you're coming from. Us trying to understand our roles when it comes to relationship. This is what I'm to be doing as a man. This is what I'm supposed to do as a woman.
Yes.
For example, in marriages, you talk about loving and submitting. As long as you love the way the Bible asks us to love, you get submission reciprocated to you. And if as a woman you decide to submit in everything as the Bible says, you get love and reciprocated to you. You know, the funny thing about this thing is what we don't understand some of the time is we're supposed to be doing what we are doing regardless of what our partner is doing. Now I used to tell a friend sometimes we have relationships and then we it ends or we have breakups and you start asking yourself questions like maybe if I had done it this way, he won't leave me. So it's always best to do what you need to do so that if it breaks, you know, okay, I did my best, I did what I needed to do. Maybe this was not meant to be. It's not like you had some lapses and then you begin to blame yourself if you're supposed to do this or do that. So it's good we understand our roles and what we do. But I want us to look at it from this point of view. There is this societal pressure, like I said before, what we see, what society forces us to do.
Mm.
You know, we see the way people live their lives and even our celebrities and all, and we want to pattern our lives like that. You know, when I was to get married to my wife, someone advised her, don't used to give money to husband. The highest you can do is to borrow money to your husband. Don't dash your husband money. Your money is your money, you know. And but then we later found out that that person's husband is so stingy and selfish. And it's because of her experience. That's why she's advising anybody that comes close to her. Don't give him money. There is no return from that. You get what I'm saying? So, but what if your partner is not like that? What if your partner is supportive? Your partner is genuine. You know whatever he's doing. You can give him money and it's not a problem. You can help, you can support that partner. But other people's experiences have made it look as if people pattern their life based on people's experience and it's a problem. Not to see some places.
Well, I get you totally. I understand you totally. And you know, this same thing, I was having a conversation with my mom some time back, and she was giving us some, you know, some life lessons and advices and everything. And at first, I held those advices really strong. It wasn't because they were bad or anything. I held it really strong because they're coming from my mother.
Yeah.
She has gone before me. She has seen so much, you know. But then later on in life, I thought about something. I said, yes, everybody would only give you advice so much from what they have experienced and what they know, right? So it doesn't mean that the way it happened for that person, it will happen for you.
Yeah.
Hold the advice, no doubt, but it's not all of the advice that you get in life that you use. And that's the same thing that happens with the social media, of today. I saw a very funny video on TikTok where this guy was seriously saying, as a man, your wife must know her place in the kitchen. She must cook. She must this. She must that. She must this. She must that. And then, like 15 seconds later, the wife just came and called him. Tunde, what are you doing? Have you washed the plate I told you to go and wash? What about the children's uniform? Have you ironed it? This guy now on the rap, giving everybody, and he's an influencer. And it was actually a joke because he was trying to tell us that a lot of things that we see online are not really what it is.
Yeah.
A lot of things are not really what it is. This thing might work for you. Maybe the person that you're married to is very docile. If you tell her and say jump, now jump, you go jump because that's what the person feels like is their way of showing you that they love you, not because the person is stupid.
Yeah.
But now you cannot come and go and meet your own wife in the house that knows how to fight Tai Chi and Taekwondo. Sister, enter the kitchen, if they beat you waiting up. Now family meeting with everyone.
Yeah.
So you have to, yes, take all of this information, no doubt, take it. But understand, that's where he said we don't understand our differences. Understand the person that you are with and know the advice or the story that you have seen somewhere that will help you. And before you rush and do anything, talk, converse with your partner. Don't just wake up and say, I'm the head of the home. Or the woman will say, you are my husband. It's your job to this and this. Even if I make more, I earn more. It's your job. Everybody's doing their own. My dear, now who else should know where you pay now?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Um, I experienced something some years ago before I got married, where I went out with my brother, and then we were just talking, drinking and talking as men. And the guy's wife, one of the guys, the wife called, and he told the friend, I have an emergency, I have to rush out and go. And they were saying, we know that your wife. There's this notion that a man is not supposed to be weak around the wife or around his friends, fellow men, about being, in quotes, controlled by his partner. As married men, sometimes you are not back home by 6, 7, your wife starts calling that you need to be home. And as good men, we go home. Sometimes we are with our friends, and then most of the time we can't be bold enough to say, my wife, they call me and they go out.
Okay.
We will not use excuses. Be like, I want to pick up something so that you will not look weak. I don't know why this thing is a problem, and it's from what the society has made us believe that there should be no sign of weakness. A man is supposed to be the Lord, King, Maker of his
Lord and
own.
Master.
Nobody questions him. Okay, and it's a problem because most of the time our women now feel like they are being subdued in the marriages. They don't have a say. They are not allowed to express themselves, and then sadness comes in, and then they start questioning their decisions, and then it brings out a part of them that is not so good, and problem comes in, and we start having issues in our marriages. I like what you said. I think these societal pressures, there's nothing wrong in seeing what's happening in the world. But I think we should learn to take our lessons from whatever happened and just move on. Know your partner for yourself. Now you are here know know your partner for yourself. And once you know your partner for yourself, you know whatever it is you have to do. I'm also wanting us to look at communication. I feel people are playing their roles. That is the truth. But then when someone does something that the partner does not like, the way the displeasure is expressed causes issues. There are marriages that have ended for lack of effective communication. I feel like, I am angry at what you do. I can't explain to you how I feel genuinely about it. Instead, I nag or I shout, turn it to an argument, we fight, I'm out of the house, and we are not together for 3, 4 days. There's a loss of connection between us come back and then something happens again, and decisions are taken based on those actions. Especially by a partner is offended and he just takes a decision, from today I will not do this thing again. Maybe it was something good he was doing. And that moment he felt like he was not appreciated. He just decided to stop doing it. But that's just as a result of communication. Don't you think that communication is a major problem?
Yes, communication is a major problem, but it can also be solved. Let me use myself as an example. Um, okay, when I got married, first I promised myself for every misunderstanding between me and my wife, every misunderstanding, we must not sleep over it. It must be addressed that same night. Even if it's 11 p.m., to address it before we sleep. One, I promised myself, we're in the same house, no matter how hungry I am, I will not leave the bed. We must spend the night together, we must sleep together, so long I'm in town. Now, those things help. If you create those thoughts in your head that I must follow these things, it helps you. It builds you. Okay. I remember we had one issue one time. I think we had the issue in the morning and at night. I was still holding it. She was still holding it. But because I said I will not sleep with this thing till the next day, it must not last 24 hours. I had to call her. I got used to that. So if we have any misunderstanding, we iron it almost immediately and we laugh over it. So with that, gradually we started understanding ourselves, understanding how we express our anger, and how not to make things escalate. And it has helped me till date. I said something earlier on, love is not enough, but it's key. If you love somebody, you wouldn't want to hurt that person and still hold on to it. You know when to say I'm sorry. It's part of communication.
Okay, sorry to cut you, right? But I have to just say this real quick. Men generally, don't know how to say sorry. And what are the here for you? It's not the people I'm talking about, but I'm talking about in a general sense. I think it's a Nigerian thing, even down to elders. But I'm talking about men here. I have a friend that we would. I'm not afraid of conflict. Let me start from there. But if it comes, I will stand up to it. But I like to avoid it as much as I can. But I don't like it when we are talking or we have a disagreement and I'm trying to explain or try to tell you how I feel and you want to use it against me, or then you start telling me that I'm nagging and everything. Even when you are right, when you are wrong, I have to apologize because I don't want quarrel, I don't want fight, right? But then when it becomes too too constant, that's the word. When it becomes too constant, I never talk one, never talk two. You don't know that you're gonna tell me sorry. How do you build like because we're talking about communication here. You're not even trying to see it from my own point of view, but I'm the one pushing and trying to say, okay, let's settle, let's make sure that we sleep. Like he said, that he doesn't like when the quarrels roll over to the next day. But my darling, body go break person. If not me, they tell you sorry all the time. I go tired. I won't lie to you,
Okay.
please.
Um, saying sorry all the time for courtship. I'm not talking about couple now. Let's see, you're still dating, you're still
Okay.
in the courting stage. If you find yourself in a situation where you have to be saying sorry all the time, personally, I see that as an unhealthy relationship.
That's a red flag.
It's a big red flag.
Wow.
But then again, ask yourself, are you guilty of what you're saying sorry for? Then ask yourself, do you do things regularly that prompts the sorry, the apology? You said something, selfishness. If we try not to be selfish, you should be able to check yourself if you're actually doing those things. Because the truth is, you can actually be wrong all the time too.
No, see, this wrong all the time.
No, you can. I'm sorry, you can't be wrong all the time.
All the time.
Yes, like for a man always bossing the wife or the girlfriend, whatever. When I say bossing the
Okay.
girlfriend, now maybe because she's the quiet type, the cool type, and all that, she does not complain. By default, you find yourself being a boss to that person. How?
That's manipulative.
Exactly.
So
Whatever you do, she does not complain.
Yeah.
She has
She's a yes,
yes, she's a
person.
yes, yes, thank you. By default, you already should I cannot use the word bullying that person, but you're already being oppressed because the person does not complain. Everything you do is right, even when you know you are wrong. And the day that person
will
comes
complain, the
up,
person is young.
yes.
Wrong.
Funny enough, you see,
You
exactly what
understand?
you're talking
So
about.
that's why I said you have to check yourself if you are doing that.
But
thing.
then it's the same thing. It's the same thing with, I'm just trying to counter what you're saying. Women too, you guys like emotional blackmail.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Men.
trying to play the victim.
Yes, you
Yes.
try to play the victim all the
I'm
time.
out for this thing.
See, the Bible says what to who offense comes from. You know a woman can offend you now. The way you react will turn the matter and you will be the offender.
Yes.
It has happened to
See,
me.
it happens to all of
It
us.
has happened to me, so I understand
No,
The
that.
way you will complain
no,
of the offense, they will just use the emotional blackmail on you. There's a way they will just cry now
Yes, that's
or
why you
change
cannot be
their
shouting
face.
at me now. If I did something wrong, you will tell me small small. You won't raise your voice on me.
see, we are the one expected to
How
say
will you
something.
raise your voice on me? You will tell me that.
You don't expect me to raise my voice
I
at you.
Even when we don't raise our voice.
When we don't, they see that way.
Let's be
The
saying
worst part is even if you're trying to do it over the phone. Even if you are calm, they try to say
it's a
you are
serious
not
matter.
you are shouting.
It's a
I am not
serious
shouting.
matter.
You are even saying I am not shouting. They say you are shouting.
There are even some issues that they don't want to be corrected on. Just take it away.
Just take it.
You correct, you're in trouble.
Okay, thing is, I kind of feel like the mode of communicating that thing, I think it's a problem actually, because sometimes for a lady, you're demanding for an apology, but the way you're demanding for it will make the person not want to even give it to you.
No, I won't even agree to that because the thing is this, it still falls back to this communication thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might be upset with me about a particular thing, but you know what makes it or what turns the table around is the approach in which you come to me with this thing that you're upset about. You can't come to me and because one thing men don't understand is women are, should I use the word intuitive in the sense that I know, right?
Okay.
I don't know if this has ever happened with any of you. When your wife for sure knows that man, I don't cast like this. She comes to you, you just come and do like this.
Yeah.
Because she knows that, oh God, you understand. But there are some times where you're already coming with an attack. Even if it's not in your voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get me, even if it's not in your voice.
Your
It's in your
attitude.
approach, it's in your attitude. Maybe the way you walk into the room or the way you are looking at us, you will say, oh yeah, let's see this. Let me turn it around on you.
Okay,
I don't know if you get what
so
I'm
that's
saying.
what you people used to do.
Well, I won't lie, I do it
Okay, I'm
sometimes.
coming. See,
Because you can't always be right.
now listen.
Hello?
But you know
When
you
you
are
when you
wrong.
when you
Uh-huh.
invest in a business, you
Mhm.
expect return trouble.
Of course.
And when you are wrong, you should expect a certain reaction. Now, you should
you
expect and
offended
prepare
someone.
for the worst
Crying
reaction.
out loud.
So if it does not come, if the worst reaction does not come,
Okay.
does not mean it shouldn't come.
Now
or it
you
cannot come.
Now,
I'm coming.
okay.
Now, when that worst reaction comes,
Uh-huh.
you should accept it. One, then after everything, this is what I apply, and it has been working. After everything, if I overreact, I use word overreact, but that's how you people put it to us.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's
If I
what-
overreact over something my wife does wrong, after everything, she calls me, sits me down. Most times when we are eating, she plays with me, and she said, "Mr. Ace, Ejuke," that's what she calls my real name. Okwakwa,
Ewo.
dearest
It's
of
about
the
to go
dear,
down.
my Lord and Master. Overreact over that small thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I will say, I am sorry. I was angry. Do you understand?
That's effective communication.
Yeah.
I was angry. Or you said you know something you do.
No.
All right. Then after that, we laugh, and the rest is history.
But you see this thing, it's a very funny thing. It's a two-way street, right? You see the way you said if you react. Because I like watching a lot of like relationship stuff online and everything. You know, this same thing applies to the male, should I say, the man and the woman, when it's the man that does something wrong, right? And then she reacts the way you are saying that, of course, actions birth reactions to stuff, right?
Of course.
She reacts, and then you go back and say, "Now, wow, now this one thing, let me you shout for me." I saw something somewhere where the man wanted to do a business, and the wife said, "This thing not go work. Don't do this thing." And then he did it, and he lost money. And Davido's song was playing, and she just started singing, "Then go feel it." Now the man started to vex because the man he said the woman played the song because of her.
But there are
Young lady was doing her thing.
Was she supposed to play that song at that
Like, are you seeing where you're coming from?
how they go feel it.
Then go feel it.
For that kind of scenario.
No, really.
That
My people, really.
No, but
You know, I came home battered and shattered.
yes.
I just lost money.
Okay.
Seriously.
By default, the kind of sound you even make from your mouth, you should be
You have
careful
to
about
be careful
it.
about it.
Very careful.
Emotional
The kind of music that you listen to is
Yes,
simple emotional intelligence.
That's just it.
But do you see that? Even
You should
though
be
they are
doing
two separate.
everything to make me feel better, even if I did not listen to your advice.
But do you know that
the truth
this
is, the
thing,
truth
eh?
is, it's expected of a woman to welcome the man after the day's job.
But it wasn't
Listen,
even the
to
meaning.
welcome the I'm coming now to welcome the man with a warm smile. Now, imagine that man with the pain, wait with the pain, and you playing them go Phillips, and I'm coming to
He has
that.
you were coming.
No, he has felt it now, and he's reacting to the feeling.
Yes,
And you said the problem.
But this thing is the exact same thing I'm saying. Now you are upset. What if I'm a kind of person that, because I have this friend, this girl, see, beat this girl, she will not cry. But the moment your voice goes just an octave higher, forget it. The water works.
You have killed.
You have killed that girl. So what we do when she does something wrong is, gee, sit down first. We already know say you don't cast. How far? How do we fix this? How do we this? How do we do that? We let it go for like 3-4 days, and we'll come back and say, "Now, wow, you really do this thing up." Because we know the kind of reaction she has to that kind of thing. And I get that you have every right to be upset. I get that you have every right to register your displeasure. But now ask yourself, male or female, how does my partner react to anger and disappointment?
Okay, see, there's something.
I don't know if you get where I'm coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah.
Sorry to cut you, but now you used your friend as an example, but I want you to understand something. When it comes to love affair, it's different from you and just your
Oh, wow.
friend. I'm telling you, that's the truth.
Mm.
Because you being in a relationship with this person or married to this person, the truth is everyone has an expectation from that person.
Mhm.
There's a level of IQ, level of understanding you believe, because the truth is for you to conclude you want to be with this person for the rest of your life, or you're going to be with this person for the rest of your life, you must have been in the relationship for a while. There should be an understanding this is love.
Yeah.
The way I react to my siblings when they offend me, I don't react that way to my wife.
Yeah.
It's totally different. My siblings, I can raise my voice, we understand later. But my wife, I won't raise, like I promise myself I will not use abusive words, no matter how angry I am on my wife. But I can use it on my sibling and I'll go free. If I use it on my wife, my conscience will torment me.
And you say a lot of sorries.
The sorry, a lot, I think a lot is more like miles. It's small. Because with you cannot
You cannot say the amount of sorry.
you cannot quantify
The sorry that
the
I'm
sorry
going to
I'm going to say. Even after I'm forgiving, in my subconsciousness, I'll be
You're not
feeling
say.
okay.
You will feel bad.
Do you understand? But if it's my sibling, because I don't think it's serious.
But you see,
Do you understand my point?
I think
So you have to in love when it
I
comes to
think for this
love.
communication thing, the best thing we can apply is emotional intelligence,
Mhm.
emotional availability. If you know that if you are available for your partner emotionally, the way you communicate is better
Yes.
because you consider their emotional needs whenever you want to give an information about what it is that they are doing. Emotional support. Everything about communication has to do with how we handle our partner's emotions, what we understand about how they feel about them, what makes them happy, what makes them angry.
Yeah.
This helps us have effective communication. But then it is best even when you build yourself to be an effective communicator, regardless of your partner's emotions.
True, very true.
You can apply it even in your business, in your job, your career, whatever it is you're doing. You know that you're an effective listener. You communicate, you make sure the person understands what you're saying.
Yes.
If we can do that, we can solve this issue of communication gap.
Yeah.
But then I'm looking at another problem that is unresolved past issues. When you have what your ex did to you,
They don't
you not carry it.
last.
You not carry it. All men are scum
Yes.
because of what your ex did.
Women are evil.
It's all women who fear women.
Fear women, yes.
It's all
Men
women
will stain your
because
black.
of what your ex did, and then you take it into a new relationship, or you take it into your marriage, and then you start treating your partner in that light, or you have a certain behavior, or you have certain reservations about something. That is an issue.
Yeah.
That is a major issue because yeah, there are some women. I was in a couples meeting one time. There are some women that a man was complaining that the wife has never caught him cheating or seen him with somebody, but the trust issues she has, it's out of this world.
Wow.
Steady following up every single. She's not seeing anything, but she's not stopping, and it's worrying for the man
Is he
because
guilty?
you're making it look as if I am guilty and not every little thing. Wherever I'm going to, you want to time me, you want to make sure this is happening. Then anything you suspect it, and the excuses. I don't experience this thing before. I know I know go gree.
Okay.
I can't allow it happen to me again. So it's a sign. It's a kind of a safeguard. The woman is trying to safeguard her marriage, so to speak, in her mind,
In a manner
because of her
way.
past experience. And then you are trying to make this man feel like he's caged, he's locked, and even the best that he's doing to try to be faithful
not
and
enough.
loving to you is never enough.
Okay, the thing is, past experiences, if not properly managed, can actually destroy the present and eat into the future. Because I have past experiences and I have not dealt with them, especially the bad ones.
Yeah.
That let's say for a relationship as well, talking about right now, and probably somebody cheated on me while in the past, and I saw some signs of the cheating. Probably the person was doing one or two things, and I just feel like, and I am in a way I'm trying to now look out for those things in my current relationship.
Yeah.
It gives me now me being conscious of that act gives me this sense of this person might want to do the same thing, and in a way it would make me not to be free with my partner.
Yeah.
I start having these trust issues.
Always
I
insecure.
start doubting some things. You go to the bathroom to receive call and I start feeling like, "Ah, what you going there to do?" You carry your phone wherever you're going to. I feel like I think there's something in that phone I need to check.
Yeah.
So we start just looking for some creepy things, and those creepy things may really not exist. But in your own head, you're already creating a scenario that does not exist. And that would actually affect the relationship with your partner.
There's also the part where you've like we say, men has come, men has come, and some men will stay in your black and your white and your hot blood. There's also the part where you're healing already,
Yeah.
but then the social media space is showing you this woman that her husband forged her death certificate because he wants to relocate with the children and another woman abroad. Then you see another place again that you're saying that this man did this and this woman did this, and then your husband now says, that he has a work trip to Dubai for 2 weeks from nowhere. Please do my passport, let's go. But even when you're healing, but then the things like we also talked about the social media space.
Yeah.
And we have to always be very careful of what we see.
Yeah.
The things that you are seeing is like the whole world, all the men in the world they are not working again. Something is going wrong. So the one that I know that is still okay, let me
Let me
hold it.
hold
Let me hold it with my lifeline.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes, as much as we have even healed, because one thing we need to understand is even when you had this injury like 20 years ago, there are some times where it will still eat you,
Yeah, this color, yeah.
you know, and then you now see something that will now remind you of how that injury came.
Something
Forget
that looks
it.
like it.
You know, so I think that there's also that that space as well, and the fact of where a lot of young men, I will use that word, a lot of, I'm not saying that it's all, but a lot of young men are not, I don't know if it's mature, I will use as the word, or they are not, they cannot, my sister would say, you cannot hold yourself. A lot of young men cannot hold themselves. They cannot think, okay, you know what, I want to be in this relationship. I want to take out time with this person. And the truth is sometimes some relationships or some partners that you meet help you heal from the past.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. But because as she's doing this and doing that, I get that it can be exhausting sometimes. Let's be very honest. I get that it can be exhausting, but if you really want to put in the work and you say that this is your person, I think that it will just be right to say, you know what, let's sit down, let's talk. And if she's still doing that, you sit her down and say, fam, blood, if I don't call her babe, blood, I have given you 110. And if you cannot let go of the past to enjoy this relationship that we have, I think it's best that we take our time apart so you can heal on your own. You know, but sometimes what we do to our partners is we will not use that pain from the past as a weapon against them. Because it's not everybody that knows how to heal. Some people will think that they have already healed. We use that as a weapon against. The next thing we hear is, not make all these boys when you friends so they don't do. How do you expect me to feel? Or you hear, is all this your character now because you are too lenient. Now make all these girls they push your head. Nonsense. This one, I mean, why why do that when you can just say, okay, it's like we're not working. Let's take time apart. Or if you do not trust me enough with your emotions, or you do not trust me enough with your feelings, let's just, we always feel like because this thing is hurting me, I must find a way to hurt you back.
Yeah.
You know, it's the do me, I do you, man, no go vex. And a vibe that we give each other in this generation is crazy.
I think also lack of vulnerability
Mm.
is the issue here. Because if I'm vulnerable to my partner, we feel vulnerability is weakness,
Yes.
but actually it's a strength.
Yeah.
If I'm vulnerable to my partner, it's difficult for me to offend my partner.
Mm.
I can be vulnerable with my emotions,
Yeah.
for my partner, as long as I am in love with this person. Many men have saved themselves from issues by being vulnerable.
Yeah.
You have a co-worker that is giving you advances and you come home to discuss it. The moment you've told your wife or your partner about it, you know you cannot do that thing again.
Mm-hmm. You're
But
about a fight on your
but the
fiancé.
truth of the matter is that you feel like it's weakness. I can handle it myself. You don't want to open up. We are not open, we are not honest about our days every day. It's a problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. On this part of being vulnerable, yeah. What if in a situation whereby I know my partner, I know that if I come to tell you, there's this babe in my office that disturbs me every time, and because of your kind of person, or because of our kind of person, so already starting putting one or two together. Are you sure? Are you sure? So because of the way she would handle that information that I'm giving to her, because I'm trying to be vulnerable to you, trying to be transparent. I say this is my life and this is what's happening at my office space. And the way you handle it will determine if I'll come to you next time. Or to say,
Okay. We've discussed a lot of things here,
Yeah.
right? Understanding your partner,
yeah,
being emotionally available to your partner,
Mm-hmm.
emotionally intelligent. When you have these things together and you can be vulnerable with your partner
mm-hmm.
because your partner knows you. Your partner must be someone that if your partner cannot trust what you're saying, it means you've not been trustworthy.
Yes.
Yeah,
If your partner knows you as a trustworthy person, They know whatever you say is
Mhm.
what really happened.
Yeah.
You won't have those kind of issues. But if you give your partner tendencies
Yes.
where they feel like
Something don't feel
something might
right.
come out, you want to guard
That is
it.
fishy. Yeah. Okay.
So being vulnerable is it has a lot of sincerity and honesty attached to
Yeah.
it.
From both sides actually.
Attached to it. There are many couples we see outside, they don't have a problem seeing their partner with the opposite sex talking. Where there are couples that you cannot stand by the side of my husband.
Not even try it,
You
right?
can't, you can't. Don't say good morning. Sir.
Just stay away.
It's because of lack of trust. The man has
Yes.
given them reason to feel like it's not good close to any female.
Mm-hmm.
But if there is this long understanding that has been there, emotional intelligence, there is emotional support,
Yeah.
there is honesty, there is sincerity, I know you will not do that thing. You have a problem with it. So vulnerability comes with honesty and it helps. If you are honest and you have emotional intelligence, you are there for your partner, you are valuable, you are this trustworthy person, then you are not vulnerable. It's you that is inside the trap.
The truth is, before you have to go all out to exposing some things to your partner, the truth, you have to be sure of that partner's understanding.
That's what we are saying.
Now, and I'll tell you one thing, it's for free, whether you like it or not. No matter how sincere you want to be, there's some information you just don't have to give to your partner. Most times they will not understand. They may act as though they do, but they will not understand. I'm referring to our modern day relationship,
I mean, the way
guys
you
and girls.
misinterpret it.
Yes. Okay. There was a time a girl sent me a message on WhatsApp. I don't know. She used a system to get my number through my business. So she sent me a message on WhatsApp, and she went direct with what she wants. I cannot say the exact words, but she was so direct. And I said no. The reason I said no was because I don't want to do it. And if I continue
To
the
explain.
discussion,
Yeah.
I might be encouraged to do it, and I don't know if I will fall or not.
Mm.
So to be safe, I said no. And immediately I got home, I showed my wife.
Mm.
So she, of course, I saved the name, so she knows the name. Even when she chats, she knows I don't reply. Now, I gave my wife that. There are some other messages I cannot show my wife. Now, this is it. Why I'm saying this is, uh, okay, like one of my ex, who is still a friend and a business, let me not say business partner now, but she gives me business. Yes, exactly. Nothing attached. I cannot send or let my wife come.
Into that kind of knowledge.
Yes, because she may not understand.
But you see
I'm
what you are
coming. She may
saying
not
now.
understand. You know why? I already told her this is my ex.
What are you doing there?
Calm down. Business. This is business. We don't talk
What
any
are you
other
doing
thing.
there?
We don't talk. We don't see. We don't.
This is another long matter. But what are you doing there?
Calm down. We don't discuss any other thing. It's business. My
It
point
doesn't
is,
matter.
no, understand me. My
There was
point
a
is,
former discussion. We were talking about injuries and how they can scratch no matter how long it takes.
okay, are you saying I should
That
cut off
is-
business with that person? That's what you're
Is
saying.
that person the only person that gives you business?
One of them.
And-
Remember, I have to put food on the table.
Yes, you can put food on the table without your ex giving you business. But then, no, it's true. We have to
Now
establish that.
understand me.
Because
You see,
Hopefully,
she's
hopefully
my
the
ex.
channel. Hopefully
I'm
the
coming.
channel.
She's my ex for a reason.
Hopefully the
She's my
channel.
ex.
No.
If I was going,
She's
listen,
not your
if I was going
ex,
to, if I was going to settle for her, she wouldn't have been my ex.
No.
Now.
The truth of the matter is, the truth of the matter is, we need to round up on the show. So the truth of the matter is, let's establish this. There are some channel you open, you leave open. They make you vulnerable to attacks.
Yeah.
That is the truth. There are some channels that needs to be 100% closed.
Totally.
Not because you don't know what you're doing or you're not mature enough to deal with it, but just to avoid
Security.
those attacks. I don't expect you to share that information because it's a wrong information to share. And in that moment, if your partner decides to take that thing to heart, you will be wrong.
Evidence.
And the evidence plenty.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I think for healthy relationships, I don't think we should have our exes around.
So even
It's
for
a
business
pro-
as well.
it's a problem.
If
And especially as Christians. Because
the person is not close, it's not
it doesn't even
within
matter if the person
reach,
is
it's not
in
within
Canada,
physical
if the
reach.
person is in Australia and you're in China, it's not the
Within
matter.
physical reach.
China.
From
There's a-
Australia to
Yeah.
China
There's
is a flight.
Listen, now
My brother is a flight.
I understand what you're saying. Now my point is there are some information you may not need to share. Listen, I know why I'm saying this. Okay, let me give you this now. She's very open. This is an example now. She's very open. You are very open, generally. But she does not tell you things. Some set. Oh, sorry, you do not tell her. Let me not use because most times
He's no longer open now.
yeah, no, I'm coming now. I said to an extent. I said generally,
Okay,
rather,
okay,
like
okay, yeah.
generally, you are an
Yeah,
open
yeah,
person.
yeah.
And you do not tell her, okay, this. She does not tell you, but one day she decides to tell you or somebody asking her out, and you give her go ahead, your wife or your whatever, go ahead, talk to the person, but tell the person you are married or you're in a relationship, but don't be rude. That's you telling your partner. Then it gets to your turn, and same thing, and you tell your partner, okay, look at her. And your partner, I'm not saying the woman or the man now, either of them, decide to take offense. How would you react?
That's why I think we talked about that before. It depends on how you guys have been as regards understanding yourself over time.
Yeah.
You see where I say the
Like,
understanding, that's why
see,
you may
for you
not
to
have
be
to
for you to be
review
vulnerable,
some things.
you need to have reached a level of
And
understanding.
something I need to say is we also need to understand something here that our partners will have weaknesses.
Yes.
We need to understand that our
And that's where you
partners will
provide
have
emotional
weaknesses.
support.
That is the part I'm trying to
That's where the
bring
support
out.
comes in.
You need
If
to
your
now
partner's
know
weakness-
what weakness your partner
Yes.
has.
Yes.
If it's the trust issue thing, then you have to do your best to avoid that part. I have friends that the wife they hack their WhatsApp and all that.
yes.
That's actually dangerous.
Yeah.
So and when they see colleagues chatting them, of course, when you work somewhere, you have both male and female colleagues, and they might, you become friends with some of them. Of course, not all your colleagues will be your friends, and you chat with them once in a while. You guys, if you're within the same locality, you can actually hang out. But then, because of the chat, for those with
The hacked WhatsApp.
yes, exactly, the chat,
The CIA stuff.
let's hang out. Many times you don't interpret your partner don't interpret that message
The way you would.
the way it is.
I think this vulnerability thing is like a topic
On its own. I wanted to say that it's a topic on its own.
But then we've made our point. But I think to conclude this, many of these issues we have in a relationship, whether we like it or not, life is spiritual.
So true.
Yeah.
The devil is roaming around looking for who to devour and can use issues like this to just enter into marriages, and that's the importance of having a spiritual foundation, whether it is a dating relationship or a marriage.
Yeah.
It's good that, like we say, marry from your tribe, which means your Christian tribe.
Yeah.
Marry a believer like you. And do not be unequally yoked. That is the truth. When you have your tribe, there's this spiritual foundation you have. It's good to have your tribe, but it's good to be intentional about the foundation. Pray together, study together, do your spiritual works together. You want to ask God for something, you're believing God for something in your relationship, make sure you do it together. If there is a bond, a strong bond spiritually, it's easier. We have many of our mothers that had this spiritual bond. Many of us were born in Christian homes, whereby when there is an issue, our father offends, The next thing you see a mother do is to kneel down and pray.
Call all of us in the
And
middle of
pray
the
to
night.
God.
Start
Yes,
to pray for your
Talk
father.
about it.
Call your father's name and
And
pray.
we've seen it work many times.
Mhm.
Because this person is connected to you. And when you
Yes.
ask God to speak to them, God speaks to them. Sometimes we take this spiritual connectivity for granted. We need to have a strong spiritual. The home needs to have a source. Jesus as the source. The home needs to have a spiritual foundation. The home, the relationship. Before I got married to my wife, we were praying morning and evening, doing courtship. It helped us a lot. Because if we have issues, I know we have to pray in the morning. It's because the issue I miss prayer is that it's a serious matter. I will not be okay.
Yeah.
It got to a point, the prayer looks like something I need to start. I need to start my day. I've not prayed with my fiance, I can't start my day. So we pray in the morning, we pray before we sleep. When we have issues, we come together and we pray. We need money, we're planning for our wedding, we need money. We have to pray about it. And God answered. If one can chase 1,000, two will chase 10,000.
Sure. But I wanted to say this because there are so many churches with so many doctrines, with so many beliefs, with so many ideologies. And now I am in a relationship with someone. I go to this church, and this person goes to another church. And usually with marriage, especially for us singles, with marriage, the woman is most likely to go to the man's church. But now, since we're talking about firm foundation in Christ and everything, and with that comes like strong service in the house of God and everything. And I hold one strong position for my church, and my husband holds strong position for a church because I know that one thing that my parents kept, should I say, ringing in our ears was that we should all worship in one church.
Yes.
It's better and it's
Yes.
safer, for that. But now I hold strong position for my church, and he holds a strong position in his church. I'm wondering how we want to figure
No,
that
the
out.
truth of the matter is that you can serve God in any capacity, anywhere. The God is one,
Mm.
Yeah.
regardless of the church.
Mm-hmm.
You get married, you join your husband in his church, then you start serving them. The position whether you were a leader at the other place, you can rise also here. And the truth of the matter is that God announces us in the Bible. So if you're constant and you're sincere in your service to God, wherever you find yourself, you are visible. You are visible before you know it, you're recognized and you begin to function in that capacity.
Yeah.
It is like an agreement you have with God and it works out that way. We need to know that worshiping together in one church means we have same beliefs.
Mm.
We trust God in the same way. So when we are asking God for something, we are trying to fight off the enemies. We are in one mind doing the same thing, and that is why it's best. In whatever modern marriages and relationships these days, there's no spiritual stronghold, and we have to look at that. We need to have a good spiritual background, and I think this is where we end
Yeah.
this
It, wa-
episode
it was
today.
it was great.
It was a very
It was
wonderful time.
amazing.
Thank you guys for joining me today and for coming. I'm really grateful. So, my people, it's been a very wonderful time here today, and I really enjoyed myself, and I hope and I hope we learned a lot from this episode. And don't forget to subscribe and on the notification button and follow us on our social media platforms. And then don't forget to join us for the next episode that will be coming up next week. And for me, it's bye today. And for my friends,
Bye.
thank you. God bless you.